last time I'll get to see you. My place is here in Otherworld now. I won't be going with you this time. Johan, I wish I could have been there, you know? To watch you grow into the man you've become.
Farewell, old friend.
Things aren't the same around here without you.
Goku, you still think about us when you're in other worlds, don't you, buddy? Goku! No! Goku! How can you say goodbye?
Chi-Chi, you'll be alright. I'll miss you.
I'll miss you too.
So long, everybody! See you all sooner or later!
You've given us so much, Dad.
Static flicker on the screen, ranting in the basement with a red hot lens, white tie, digital debris, banging on the keys like a ghost in the machine. Angry kid, bad at every level, calling out the kings and the pixelated devils. Paradise is burning down, words of paradise, burning down the town. He talks, he fights, he stays up through the night. Paradise is burning down, words of paradise. He wears a digital crown. Burn it all down. Paradise. Rage, breaking all the rules, tearing up the script that they gave the fools. Logic fails, spilling out the truth, cracking every code of a wasted youth. Click your heart, click and then subscribe, feeding on the heat of a manic tribe. Paradise is burning down, words of paradise, burning down the town. He talks, he fights, he stays up through the night. Paradise is burning down, words of paradise. He wears a digital crown. Burn it all down. Paradise. No more monsters, no more lies, no more games. Underneath the hollow skies, one man army gets the flood, spilling out the data like it's fresh blue blood. Paradise is burning down. Words of paradise, burning down the town. He talks, he fights, he stays up through the night. Paradise is burning down. Words of paradise. He wears a digital crown. Burn it all down. Paradise. Shut it down, long gone, just walk away. Paradise, paradise, gone tonight.
Welcome back to the Lunch Hour. Welcome back to the Lunch Hour. How are all you vital idols doing? That was awful strange. I don't know what happened there. Camera didn't switch over, But yes, special early edition of the lunch hour, 30 minutes early, so things probably gonna be a little bit different. But yeah, I'm going out of town this afternoon. I need to make sure to get the stream done before I have to get to the airport. I need to make sure I continue to pack after the stream's done so everything can be ready so I can go to the airport. Needless to say, guys, I'm busy and I pulled an all-nighter. Things are not going well for me so far. Who we got up in this bitch? Let's see. I see Jackass G22s. How you doing? Sarah Reason. You might be new. I don't know if I recognize you. So welcome to the party, pal. Ghost of Valhalla is here. Let's see. We got Matt Stanford, Clip 420, Sevi with the heavies, Sleeping Nova's up in this bitch, the true Aztec warrior, sucking my dick way too early, so gotta go fast. That's the plan. And one of the hopes to go fast, green tea, no sugar. Shit be hitting good, son. I hope you guys getting your protein on. Man, it's gonna be a good day. In all honesty, we're gonna keep this pretty tight, pretty moving along, pretty fast. You know, I'm thinking somewhere between 2 and excuse me, damn, 2 and 3 hours. Luffy John Jr., how you doing? Kai Williams, what is up? Hey, what is up with you as well? Will Allman of Culture, and wow, the fuck does that even mean? That you speaking fucking Urdu, son. War Wizards here, shout out. Words of the Torah. Yep, it's official. After yesterday, I'm apparently Jewish now. I'm apparently Jewish. How is everybody doing? I was using speech to text. That's and you're clearly still using it because the sentence just ended and. Oh, you'll love to see it. Well, I'm glad. We got people trickling in. Revy's husband, what is it? I feel like I ain't seen you in a minute, Revy's husband. How you doing? Alright, look, we got limited time, right? We got limited time, we got plenty of shit that I want to talk about, so we're gonna get right into it. We're gonna get right into Genetic Spore, Jewish Now, I thought the nose looked bigger. Bitcoins that I've learned, disability, man. I tried. Astral Guardian is here. Alrighty. I wanted to talk about this yesterday, but then Asmongold put out that assassination video, so we did that instead. But he put out a video that this is a problem. And it had Bill Maher in the thumbnail. And I was curious, so let's check it out.
Check the Bill Maher story. This was so embarrassing for this guy. Like, David Cross, oh my god. I saw this, and I wanted to show you guys about how embarrassing this is. Have you seen any reporting about the activists in D.C. Training jurors? Purposeful jury nullification is one of the new weapons being prepared. Well, what they tried to do, see, this is the strategy that they try to do, is they try to occupy the justice system and then constantly defer to the outcomes of the justice system, right?
Not try to occupy the justice system. They have successfully usurped and infiltrated the justice system. Well, infiltrated, then usurped, actually. I got it backwards. But the point is, there's no try. It's been a success.
So they're like, okay, well, we're going to cheat this system, and you have to follow the system. Okay, well, I think I see where this is going, right? And so, yeah, it's embarrassing. It's so fucking embarrassing. I skipped the JRE episodes with the LA artists. Yeah, is that David Cross? Yeah, bro, like, it's been a long time since Arrested Development, bro. Like, he probably still bald, though. Yeah, that's why he's wearing a hat. And anyway,
he is looking rough. Like, I haven't seen Cross in a hot minute. I haven't watched this interview yet. I don't watch all of Bill Maher's podcast episodes. I usually watch depending on the guest. I will say, I have a weird, odd kind of respect for Bill Maher. Again, I disagree with him politically on just about every fucking thing out there. But I've always had a bit of an odd respect for Bill Maher. He is a good comedian. He puts on a pretty good show. And I like his podcast a lot. But I only really watch, like, it's very guest dependent.
It's just so fucking embarrassing.
You need to be checked. People need to be checked.
I think they'll be
Including your little girl.
Okay.
She needs to be checked. I don't know what.
Fuck that bitch. Fuck that little bitch with her black friends and trans friends and not even understanding. She doesn't know.
Wait, she has trans friends in 3rd grade?
Yeah.
Trans friends in 3rd grade.
Parents need to be arrested. If you got if you've got children who are in the 3rd grade and they even know what trans is, let alone think they're trans, parents arrested. No ifs, ands, or buts. And I'd be willing to wager a guess that those kids, single moms. Ain't no dad of a fucking 3rd grade daughter feeding into that delusion. At least, well, I mean, maybe in like California and shit, I don't know. But by and large, be willing to bet single moms, Munchausen's by proxy shit.
Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy. Very normal. Who doesn't?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
See,
Okay.
they know they're trans in 3rd grade.
Okay.
I knew one of her friends. I knew when he was a girl.
How old?
And it's always... Wait, I knew when he was a girl. Okay, wait. So this is a little girl that they turned into a boy. That's actually atypical. It's usually the other way around. They're usually turning the boys into girls. God, it's getting so hard to keep up, guys.
I think just turned 9.
Oh my god.
Y'all know how much I hate the state. Y'all know how much I loathe the state. And yet somehow I think the state should take custody of this fucking kid and not even arrest, just wood chipper. Fucking wood chipper the parents. Ain't no return from that. If you trans your kid at 9, ain't no coming back from that.
What the fuck is wrong with them? What the fuck are they doing? Oh my god.
But the left will tell you this doesn't happen. The left will tell you they don't trans kids. The left will tell you that's a right-wing conspiracy theory. Uh-huh.
And
Just turned 9.
and is just the coolest kid. I think they're
Boy
gonna
to
be
girl, girl to boy.
girl to boy.
Girl to boy.
What up, Zax? How you doing, homie?
Uh-huh.
And she has another very close friend who's not in this school, but who's boy to girl at 3.
You got to remember, right? So if he has a daughter, 3rd grade, and this child has 2 transgender friends, that means he knows their parents, or at least he should. If your kid's 9 years fucking old, then you should know the parents of the people that your kids are playing with and whatnot. And you should all like be in the same sort of circles and at least be familiar enough to like trust your kid around them when they're like going to sleepovers and shit. Which means that he has met these parents, theoretically, is okay with the fact and trusts these creatures around his daughter. Arrest him too.
But
3
girl
years
to
old.
boy,
3 years old, they're trans?
Hey, what up, Espiritu? How you doing, homie?
You have a trans 3-year-old?
No, you've got an abusive parent.
And she has another very close friend who's not in this school, but who's boy to girl at 3.
But
At 3
girl to
years
boy.
old.
Oh my god. This is jail the parents. Yeah, we have to really this is at what point is this not child abuse?
It is. I don't care if the kid's 17 years old. It's fucking child abuse. This is. Is there a better word than disgusting? Abhorrent, evil, fucking demonic. Take your goddamn pick.
Really? Well, how is this not just straight up child abuse? Oh my god. Unironic spawn camping? Yeah, I know. I don't understand how. Why are we putting up with this? Why do we put up with this for even a second? This is crazy. Like, and here's the issue with. Well, let me finish the clip, and then I'll go on a big talk about it.
Girl to boy,
There's multiple clips about this. This is like just so embarrassing for him.
I mean, I knew somebody who said to me, actually more than one person who said to me, a woman said, you know, I was what they called a tomboy. If I was
they were trans.
alive now and acted the way I did then, that's what they would have done to me.
I have unironically heard this sentiment from multiple women. Because, you know, your boy got that Nat 20 charisma role, so I get to talk with a lot of women and be actual friends in a platonic sense. Called Classic Cage, one of them. Yes, I've heard from many a tomboy female friend of mine, at least 3 I can think of off the top of my head, that have said this exact same thing. That they are so glad they grew up in the 90s so they can just be a fucking tomboy and not be a trans boy or whatever.
Well, nobody's doing this to her.
She's 9. The other one was 3. What do you mean nobody's doing that to her? Are you telling me that 9-year-olds can, 3-year-olds can consent?
I mean, they can in Islam. They can in that dirty, fucking, disgusting, gross religion.
Of course not. So then somebody's doing it. They're children. Oh my God.
I don't know. I mean,
literally, nobody is doing this to her.
how old?
She is, or he is.
Look at this faggotry, bro. Trying to use preferred pronouns for a fucking child that doesn't even know what pronouns are.
Either 8 or I think 9.
Okay,
Just
then
turned 9.
somebody is doing something because 8 or 9.
Thank God. Thank you, bro. Like, yes, exactly. 8 and 9-year-olds don't come to this conclusion. This was somebody.
I remember at Ghana where made out as a joke, troll people, and I had a group say I was trans and should be trans. They were trying to gaslight me and big creepy. Dude, for real. So I used to do this thing. I retired the character a while ago. But for my late night show, Neon Leon, we used to do this thing where we hit tier 1, tier 2, I don't remember, like $100 or $200. I think it was at the $200 mark. I would become Leona. I would put on a wig. I'd pause the stream real quick. I'd go throw on a wig, do some poorly done makeup, throw on like a dress and shit, and like play like a what if free character if I was trans. And like that stemmed from the idea of when you go back and watch Saturday Night Live back in the 90s, you had the Gap Girls, right? You had the Gap Girls. You had Adam Sandler, Chris Farley, and David Spade, you know, being, you know, dressing as women and like that worked at the Gap in the mall. You had movies like Miss Doubtfire. To be fair, Miss Doubtfire sucked. I've always hated that fucking movie. But like Bugs Bunny, the comedy comes from dudes putting on women's clothing, pretending to be women. It's a joke. I went to an MC Chris concert. This probably been fucking 12 years ago. I went to an MC Chris concert, and there was a costume contest as part of the concert, and the guy that came in second place came dressed as Sailor Moon, and that was funny as hell. He gets on stage, he's dressed as Sailor Moon and shit like that. Nowadays, it was. I don't want to say normal, but like it was normal to consider it a joke, to be funny. This shit's just fucking disgusting.
Is groomed. Yes, exactly. Then somebody's doing it. Oh my, duh.
9-year-olds can't.
No, you know what they're doing?
Can't
They're-
do anything on their own.
No,
No, they can't.
they're buying them boys' clothes.
That doesn't make you trans. This is what's so funny about this.
Yeah,
is that
Tu Wong Fu is a great movie. Love Tu Wong Fu.
buying somebody and wearing
Although,
a
to be fair,
man's
Zach, I'm actually a little disappointed that you chose the black guy. We gotta uphold the white race. Why didn't you bring up Patrick Swayze?
clothes doesn't make you a man. If I dress up in a you know, like a giraffe onesie, that doesn't make me a giraffe. Like, this is just common fucking sense. I don't even understand.
Okay, well, to be fair, Asmongold can't be a giraffe because I don't think the dude's eaten a fucking vegetable in probably 20 years, but that's different.
How, like, what the fuck is wrong with these retards? What is wrong with these retards? Like, this is insane.
Well, then they're doing something. They're doing.
Yeah. Sure, yes, you're right. They're buying them boys' clothes.
And
Yes, they're buying them boy clothes. And
telling them you're a boy now.
Yes, bro. Oh my God. These people, as I said, these people are the absolute fucking worst. They are so bad, and they are all like this. And you wore a dress before and you're still a guy? I know. And Mulan wasn't trans. No, Mulan was not trans. And they can fly too. Base for calling it out. Yes, more people. And I think that we are not even remotely as vitriolic and aggressive against these people as we should be.
Correct. And you want to know why? Because for years, for like so many people have been socially conditioned into being afraid of being vitriolic towards these people. You got a YouTube channel and you might think this shit's disgusting, but you have to pretend you don't, otherwise you get taken down. You work a job and they hire a fucking tranny. Hey, you say a damn word, I don't want to fucking be in the same bathroom as this motherfucker. You're going to get your ass fired because they're a protected class. At what point did we all just collectively agree that a dude throwing on a fucking dress all of a sudden made them a protected class? It is disgusting. I'm so glad so many people have changed their opinion on this, because it's an opinion I've held for God knows how long. But yeah, no, this shit just, it's got to be stopped. It has to be stopped. I would not be against some sort of forceful apparatus just removing trans as a whole. Like, oh, you got a mental illness, you were born with gender dysphoria, asylum time. Sorry, you don't get to participate in the general populace.
These people are sick freaks that are trying to indoctrinate children into gender ideology that don't even know what puberty is. You're talking about a trans 3-year-old? He needs to get locked up. You're talking about a trans 9-year-old?
I'm telling you, fuck locking them up. Fuck locking them up. Same thing I said yesterday. They're just gonna be eating away at our tax dollars for the rest of their fucking lives. They're locked up. Fuck that. Wood chipper.
Needs to get locked up. What are we doing here? Like, the amount of hostility and anger and resentment and, most importantly, consequences for these people, like, this is what you should be getting CPS. Like, I would say, like, this is what I would do. If you are transing your kids and they're, like, before puberty, I would say CPS should take your fucking kids away from you.
Agreed. Absolutely.
They should. This is sick. It's absolutely fucking sick that you have people doing this. Oh my God, CPS removed the kids. Yes, exactly. Like, what are we doing even allowing this to happen? Really, like, this is insane. CPS is ideologically captured? Well, then just fire them. Like, it's easy. Doctors need to be charged? Yes. Doctors need to be charged. Parents need to be charged. Accomplices need to be charged. Anybody who's participating in this deliberate perversion and freak problem with children like this, there has to be accountability for
And
it.
the ironic thing, the same people chill with this. In fact, these very same parents, these very same, like, birth givers, biological creators or whatever, because I don't want to fucking call them parents, they certainly doing any parenting, are the same ones that we call Pragmata, pedo game.
There has to be accountability. Like, you can't let this you can't simply win this issue. You have to completely grind this issue into dust. Nothing left after you're done with this. This is absolute fucking insanity. It is the most pedophilic, perverted, perverse, sick, weird, like
sadistic. By the way, this is straight up sadism. This, like, the trans community is a sadistic community. They practice a ritual of sadism because if you look at the detransitioners, that they relentlessly mock and harass and attack when these detransitioners realize, oh, this ideology that I was indoctrinated into fucked my life up. They get a sick sense of enjoyment out of the suffering of the individuals that realized, oh, I'm not trans. I want out.
That I don't even know what you like. I don't know. I don't have any more adjectives to use. Right? It's just very bad. We totally need to destroy this. This doesn't seem like a social experiment. I don't care if it's bad. You can't experiment on kids.
It's literally the modern day Unit 731. We like, our tax dollars especially those of you that live in fucking California, are funding a modern-day Unit 731. And instead of it being clandestine, it's right out in the open.
Federal law needs to be implemented? Yes, exactly. If there's disagreement with the parents, the one pushing for transing their kids should get more years in jail. Well, the one that's pushing that's not for it, I mean, like, I don't know. Like, it's complicated. Where the fuck are the doctors getting genitals for 3 and 9-year-olds? I think that it's like clay, right? I mean, it's just like, Jesus Christ. Like, I don't want to talk about, like, I mean, I think that the way they do it is that they take the existing tissue and they change the way that it looks. That's basically
and they're going to sit there and they're going to be like, the people that are in support of this, like, oh, we don't actually do the surgeries on children. Doesn't fucking matter. First of all, yes, they do. There's been countless examples of it being done on kids as young as, like, 11. So even if it's not being done on the 3-year-old, the fact of the matter is you're poisoning this little fucker's mind before they're even in kindergarten.
Changing clay from, like, one thing to another, right? I mean, like, that's, I think, what happens. Like, I'm not a big expert on this. I think that's what it is. You don't want to know? Yeah.
Okay,
no, they're not telling them. They're just agreeing with. They're like going.
Well, they're
okay,
agreeing
honey.
with an 8-year-old because when
that's
is their
right.
Yeah, they're agreeing. Yeah. Oh yeah, you're an 8-year-old. You're right.
when has their judgment ever been off? At 8.
Yes. Exactly. Fucking exactly. Oh my god. So yeah. Oh yeah. Of course they're agreeing with an 8-year-old. What does that mean to you?
No, you know,
Anyway,
you knew you weren't gay.
Is this Tobias? It's Tobias. And what we've just learned is that Tobias wasn't a character. He's been a method actor for Tobias his entire life. Jesus Christ.
Right?
It's
not different.
It is absolutely different. Like, first of all, in my opinion, there's still a debate as whether or not people are born gay or if it's a social thing, nature versus nurture. I don't know. There's been studies done on both sides. There's evidence on both sides. I'll be real. I don't know. Fucking gross out of the way. Keep shit away from your asshole. But that's neither here nor there. Point is, being a tranny, totally fucking different than being gay. Let's not pretend they're even in the same ballpark.
It's obviously different because so whenever you're 8 or you're 5, you probably don't have any surety of your sexuality. Now, there are people who can look back on it and say, yeah, sure, that's the way that I felt, but you probably don't have the same solidification of it that you do whenever you're a kid. And also, if it's so defined as a child, then why are so many people that are molested as children turning into the molesters and the people that have these other issues, gender issues anyway?
Bongo. Back to the nature versus nurture thing. Now, again, it's a whole lot more obvious with the trans shit, but that's fucking hell, man.
Why is this happening? Well, it's because it's not completely defined. Like, in my opinion, I think sexuality is both it is a product of nature and nurture. So I think that somebody's sexuality is pretty much predetermined, but it can be shifted and changed if they are introduced to anything that's very weird or problematic whenever they're kids. Like, I think a great example of this is like, how many people that are like furries, they said like, oh, well, I always thought Lola Bunny was really hot because I watched Space Jam. It's like, if you didn't have that, how many of them would still be furries? I think a smaller number of them. I think that a lot of these sexual perversions and, sexual inclinations that people have are, it's like, it's the metaphor I've used. Where's the, I don't know if I can find it still. The picture of the tree, right? It's the tree that, effectively you have the tree growing in this way, you shift the way the tree grows, and now things are totally different. So this is it. And tell me Lola isn't hot. I don't think, look, guys, having to talk about this is so brain dead. How low have we fallen to talk about this madness? I know. It's just sick.
It is different.
No, it isn't.
It's okay. Good luck with President Vance.
That's
Because
right. He ain't wrong. Dude, if I were JD Vance right now, if I were JD Vance, I would have this shit clipped and I would be getting the campaign ads are rolling expeditiously. Because 2028 ain't that far away. We are about halfway through 2026 almost. We're almost at the halfway point, all right? We're almost at the 2026 halftime show. We got 2.5 years until the next election. I would be rolling this shit expeditiously if I were him right now. Because who's he going to be running against? If I had to wager a guess, Gavin Newsom. Where's Gavin Newsom from? California. Sorry, California. Where's this asshole? Well, he's a Hollywood actor. So likely, California.
As I always say to my woke friends, we voted for the same person. You're just why she lost.
I love him, bro. You're totally right. You're completely fucking right. And the thing is that I will never vote for a candidate
that is completely fucking irrelevant, Eagle Lord. That is why they care is irrelevant. What matters is this needs to be fucking stopped. I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna be real. I don't give a fuck about boys either. I don't give a fuck about boys. I don't give a fuck about men. Because boys and men should be able to pull themselves up by themselves and do shit themselves and be fucking leaders. A good, strong man don't fucking need me to teach them to be a good, strong fucking man. They should be able to do that shit innately. They should be able to figure some shit the fuck out. So yeah, women are the weaker sex. We should care more that it's affecting girls. I don't give a fuck about dudes. Dudes can give a fuck about themselves and figure shit out themselves.
A complete and obvious and one-dimensional stance on trans pre-puberty kids. It's really that simple. Like this is just never going to happen. It's sick. Absolutely sick.
And this is a case of that.
Wait, what?
What does he mean, wait, what? Is he that fucking... I mean, yes, he's obviously that's fucking stupid. He thinks the kids can transition. Silly me.
Voted for the same person.
Right.
You're just why she lost. Because America hears this, and they're going to go, Bill's right. 8-year-olds can't really make decisions on their own like this. That's what most people are going to say. And
that's right. Yep. Got him. Yep. It's true.
this is where the Democrats are with David Cross living in Brooklyn.
Sorry, he's from New York, not California. Big fucking difference. Instead of living under Gavin Newsom, he's living under Zoran goddamn Muslim pedophile rapist mom Donnie. I assume, allegedly, because, you know, that's kind of part of the whole Islamic shtick.
Dami loving, and this is why, you know, we're going to vote for JD Vance. And that's...
Eagle Lord,
he is...
You can try and convince me all you want. I'm telling you right now, I don't give a fuck. Protect all children, boys and girls. Beyond that, I don't give a fuck. Men need to be men, and they don't need other fucking men to coddle them.
Completely right. You are absolutely, completely, 100% accurate.
I don't think
it's
America in a nutshell.
I don't.
Doesn't mean I don't love you.
No. This sick mind can't comprehend it. Yeah, he's too stupid to understand. Well, again, it's not about this. Let me see if I can find. Oh God, this guy seems like a real idiot, and I wish I were as confident with Bill that we'll choose JD over this. I mean, again, I think that what will happen is that all of this talk of like, oh, let's pick another, let's vote for a Democrat person. The moment that a Democrat person starts talking about how many genders there are, the moment they start talking about like, you know, any other of their weird DEI stuff, I think that a lot of that is probably going to go away really fast. And obviously it would be. To be honest, I wouldn't vote for them because of immigration too. Well, yeah, but like, I mean, the difference is that immigration is a theoretical issue. Like people might perceive, oh yeah, when when I was growing up, there weren't as many, you know, like Mexicans here or Asian people or Indians here. But like, it's not something that you are like. It's not a biological reality that every single individual person intrinsically understands, like with something like trans, for example. Like, I think that that's the difference, is that everybody knows what a man and a woman is. There are a lot of people who are insulated from, you know, immigration. And that's the reason why that level of identity politics is so effective.
Different species can, I don't know if species is the right word, but can separate men from women. Because Neanderthals and Homo sapiens weren't the same thing. They were close enough to interbreed, but they weren't the same thing. But you want to know what Neanderthal men knew? That they could rape the fuck out of Homo sapien women, and that's why we still got Neanderthal DNA to this day.
It's because the barrier to entry to that is literally nothing. You don't need to be an expert to understand what a man and a woman is. Everybody gets this. We all understand this. So it's way different than having a 3-year-old trans. Yeah, and I think this is the big difference too, is that I think that these people are throwing the baby out with the bathwater, where they're saying that, okay, well,
they're not throwing the baby out with the bathwater. They're cutting the baby's cock off and telling it it's a girl at 6 months old.
Trans 3-year-old, okay, well, that's way too far, and a lot of people are just going to be anti-trans, period, after that, because of how deranged that.
Good. The more this propaganda spreads, if it makes people just straight up anti-trans in general, if they start making laws that 5-year-olds can't transition, good.
That is. It's insane.
And you got no one to blame but yourselves. I'm a freedom of an individual. By and large, you're an adult. Do what you want. Within reason. Can't infringe on the rights of others. Nah. You lost your privileges. You lost your freedom privileges, trans. Sorry. Shouldn't have gone after kids.
They just want competence again? Damn, I don't know. A 3-year-old trans. Yeah, bro, like, that's a CPS situation. Like, this is another thing, too, is that we should be using CPS to like, go against these people. I think that they are, like, this is what I think is happening. I think that basically, like, why do we see this culture of, like, trans kids? I think that we see a culture of trans kids because you have a lot of adults that see a social cachet of having a trans kid.
And why will adults see a social cachet for it? Because the powers that be up top are trying to force this. This is evil, demonic, Kabbalion eugenics, basically. Or, I mean, not eugenics, desterilisation. Or sterilization, you get what I mean.
Want to have that. They talk about it as it's always a positive thing. The kid hears only positive things about being trans, and then the kid, in order to get positive attention from the parents, says that they're trans in order for the parent to, like, treat them better or to be nicer to them, right? I think that's generally what happens, and I think it's also for attention. I think that's the reason why it's happening with more celebrity parents, is that, like, parents are, and by the way, this is, like, overwhelmingly, I think, moms doing it to kids than.
Correct. But by the way, another reason that men should always be in charge of shit, because it's women doing this by and large.
Than dads. Like, you have people like this, but, like, I think it's like a 90-10 issue, right? A 10-1 issue, where it's overwhelmingly women that are doing this, but it's not relevant. I mean, anybody doing it should be in trouble. And so what happens, I think, with celebrity parents is that the being trans, I think, would probably, like, it's a new social vector that now, like, now it makes you more interesting to your parent who is a famous celebrity, right? And I think that's kind of the reason why you see this happen so much. There's a proud trend of women trying to turn their boys gay. Well, yeah, of course they are. It's because, and again, like, all of this stuff, what is this stuff? It is fundamentally grooming. It is malicious.
And they're certainly putting the fun in fundamentally. Actually, they're putting the fun and the mental in fundamentally.
grooming of children. Like, we're not talking about, you know, again, a 15-year-old. We're not talking about a 16-year-old, a 17-year-old. Like, 15, 16, 17, like, you know, it's an open conversation, you know.
Nope, hard to disagree. It's not even an open conversation then.
At that point, you've got a better idea of what your sexuality is. You know, 16
Trans
in a lot
isn't
of
a
places
sexuality.
is,
It's an identity. Whether you are or aren't trans does not affect who you are and aren't going to want to fuck. Trans is not a sexuality.
Like an adult. I mean, again, like I'm not saying that we should do that here, but I think
And
that
yes,
like
I was
even
pretty
if you
proud of that one, Matt. How could you tell?
think that, you know, 16 is still too young, you have to understand that, you know, there is a huge difference between even 6 or 15, right? Like 15, 8, and 3 are all on the spectrum of bad, but holy shit, is 8 and 3 a lot worse.
Yes, that is technically true.
Holy shit, that is way worse. Oh my god, right? And so anyway, under 25 is a kid. I think that, you know, as you get older, I think you have opinions like that. But yeah, that's it. Anyway, what is this here? I can pull another one up.
Well, I said democratic socialist.
I know, but I know what democratic socialist is. That's Mandami, who's a straight up communist.
Bro, how far are we falling when Bill Maher sounds so fucking base? And again, I respect Bill in terms of his comedy career, in terms of his you know, the political talk show, all that. But let's be real, he never sounded based. He always sounded funny and edgy. It's so weird to think that in 2026, I have more in common with Bill Maher now than I ever have. And it's not because I've moved further left.
No, he's not.
Okay,
No, he's not.
okay. He has someone working.
Bill.
Can I?
Yeah,
Can I,
all right.
He is, first of all. He has someone working for him named Sia Weaver.
Okay.
Have you read about her?
I have not.
See, that means you're in a bubble.
Okay.
Because
He's right. That bitch is crazy. Absolutely fucking nuts.
should have.
Okay.
Okay,
so
let me tell you who she is.
so edify me.
She's like one of his top lieutenants. She's
Yes.
his big issue was the rent's too high.
Mm-hmm.
She's the head of, like, we're going to
Well,
fix
the rent's too high because of white people. This is a very important component, right? It's not like the rent's just too high as a result of some sort of bullshit. It's because of
Housing.
white people.
Mm-hmm.
This is like what got him elected. He has not disavowed her, and I could show you all her tweets that she's put out over the last few years in quotes.
Yes,
And one of them is, elect more communists.
that's right.
I don't think you have to read between the lines if somebody he stands with and by is saying, and also her other quotes are like, all home ownership is racist.
There it is.
Well, that's
Even though-
ridiculous.
Exactly.
So then why do you hire her?
Even without that, even without that example, although to be fair, those are very good examples, but even without that example, when your entire campaign is saying, hey, let's have the government of New York City, seize the supermarkets and make them state-ran supermarkets. Let's make all the buses free. Yeah, that goes beyond socialism. And again, socialism is just communism light. Neither are good. Socialism is fucking disgusting. But his policies aren't even socialist. They are straight up communist.
Why'd that happen?
Yes, I have an issue with that thing that she said. I don't know this woman. I will definitely look her up. I'm a fan of Mom Donnie's. I'm a fan of
Of what? Of what? What is the thing
He likes
that you
that
like?
he can look progressive to his other highfalutin Hollywood type friends when he says he voted for the Muslim. That's what. That's what he likes about Mom Donnie. Because like on paper, Mom Donnie ain't too terribly fucking different from Trump. Not, and they're both charismatic, populist speakers. So if you hate Trump but love Mom Donnie, why? Let's be real. It's because he's a fucking Muslim. It's because he's a fucking Democrat. And it's because he's going to promise all this free communist shit.
Oh my God. I'll see if there's any more of these here. And, oh, Charlie Kirk. Okay, one more.
But like the rank and file Republican, I don't think is a racist.
Yeah.
I think you can get them into positions that look racist.
Charlie Kirk had an excellent episode with Bill Maher. About somewhere between 4 and 10 months before he was murdered. If you haven't seen it, watch the sit down between Bill Maher and Charlie Kirk. Great episode. Excellent episode.
But I don't think in their bones they're like what the race, kind of what I grew up with. Like a racist was somebody who didn't want to shake a black person's hand.
Yes, I don't think that's a thing.
Well, then what do you think?
But I think there is. I mean, I know there is because they say as much. There's a feeling, a sense that, I mean, like Charlie Kirk.
So.
Please tell us your thoughts on Charlie Kirk. You already told us your thoughts on trans kids and you believe they're real. Really solidify that JD Vance win in 2028. Let's go.
True. So yeah, you know what? Exactly, man.
Stuff that women and black people and black women especially are just not. I'm not being an asshole, guys. I'm just saying they don't have the mental, you know.
There was a little more, I read that when he died.
They don't have the mental capacity to be taken seriously, but let me listen to an 8-year-old about what their gender is.
Well played.
Oh, jeez, guys. I think I see a problem here. Oh, wait a minute. Wait, what? What the heck? What the fuck? Doesn't make sense.
They, you know, of course, lots of places put his greatest hits, worst hit.
Yeah.
And then somebody else printed something, and this is what always happens with the media, like I never trust it because you never get the full story, where like each one was put in with the full context. It was never quite as bad as they said.
Well, context is everything, right?
It is.
If context is everything, then why would you throw out Charlie Kirk's name as if you knew the context?
Saying it was easy to pull from his quote bed and find stuff that I certainly don't agree with, even in the context. But it wasn't quite what you were saying there.
Excuse me?
Yeah, it wasn't exactly. No, exactly. And so dances around it. It's crazy. Does this guy say anything of, oh my God. Okay, Jesus.
As we go on fucking, it's like, just one more. Oh, just one more. Dude, it's just like that slot machine addiction, bro.
This is so embarrassing for him.
He just said something, it was almost like a Freudian slip. Not Freudian slip, but fuck, I shouldn't say anything.
Yeah, I know.
Jesus Christ. Does this guy have anything to say at all? This is embarrassing. It's like, just next time, Bill, just bring a random retarded homeless person and put them on the show, and you're going to have a more interesting... basically, we agreed with an 8-year-old about their gender. Didn't you know you weren't gay?
I think I know what you're getting at. You know, it's like the Trump administration are not people who care about saying the quiet part out loud.
No.
Right? In fact, it's their superpower in some
Exactly. It is their superpower. That being said, it seems like that superpower's been waning a bit lately, but
ways. It's like,
well, the thing is that the problem is that you should be able to say the quiet part out loud, because when you're not able to, you're not able to tell the truth. Sev. That's the problem. It's like what I said earlier with gun violence. So if you want to reduce gun violence, you
stop letting kids be trans. If you want to reduce gun violence, you stop letting kids be trans. Because there seems to be a whole lot of trans kids that don't exist because trans kids aren't real, but they think they do, shooting up a whole lot of fucking schools.
You should increase the penalties for the people that commit crimes, because overwhelmingly the people that commit gun violence are people that have already committed crimes.
This is also true.
But you don't want to do that.
Like, that's what makes MAGA fans go,
Hey, this is what's up, be random.
finally,
Yeah,
somebody said
exactly.
it. Somebody's got the balls.
People don't want to live in a state of cognitive dissonance. People don't want to be told, people don't want to live in the emperor's new clothes. They don't want to be told the sky is green. They don't want to be told that up is down,
Okay, well, to be fair, Namekians want to be told the sky is green.
left is right, men are women, women are men are women are men. You know, and you can choose. People do not want to have to go along with a constant bombardment of having to repeat slogans and phrases that they know are a lie. Everybody knows this is bullshit. We all know this. And so, yes, whenever people finally say, yeah, that's actually what's going on, everybody is thinking to themselves, thank God, finally somebody's saying it. Exactly.
What up, Jeremy?
And sometimes it's not wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you know, I mean,
What has Trump been right on?
well, I think he was
Immigration.
right to attack Iran.
Oh,
I didn't realize how based Bill has truly got. He's fucking done, bro. Holy shit. That is, I would never have in a million years thought that Bill would agree with that.
I highly disagree.
Yeah, I know. I figured
What do you
you
mean?
would.
Why?
Because I do think of you as like sort of that, like, down the line liberal, like down the line.
I mean, in some ways, I'm definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm.
Don't you say in some ways. You said you were a fucking fan of Zoran Mamdani. There's nobody who would even consider themselves an enlightened centrist that's down with Mamdani. In some ways, you insular fat fuck.
Politically more Democrat socialist, I believe.
That's actually worse than what Bill called you. Bill said, I think you're a pretty down-the-line Democrat. No, I think I was a Democrat socialist. That's even further left, you dumb cunt!
See, socialist. Again, I think you're plainly then you're to the left of me if you even say you're a socialist.
Jesus Christ. What a fucking idiot. Oh my God. This guy, like, I had no idea how much of a fucking moron this guy is. I don't even, this is insane how embarrassing this is. It's like it's a walking stereotype. I know.
He's too fat to be a walking stereotype.
It's so fucking pathetic. I can't even believe this. Wow.
Excellent video. And now you guys know what my watch later is, because I've got if Pink Floyd played the entire Ocarina of Time soundtrack. That's for me. We're not reacting to that. That's for me for later. But yeah, no. Excellent video. So glad we watched this. Like I said, it was on the docket to watch yesterday, but then Asmongold put out that video about assassination culture, and I figured, we gotta check that out. So yeah, there's the video. Give it a like. It just goes to show, no matter how much in the right direction you think we're going, there's still dumb fucks like that exist. And of course there are. We know there are, because Mamdani got elected. Now you have to watch while I'm on the plane. I might. If I can get some actual good fucking Wi-Fi on the plane, pop in my earphones, and just drift off listening to... And it's funny, because I don't even like Pink Floyd. I don't even... My camera's not... There we go. I don't even like Pink Floyd. But I am curious what they could do with the Pink Floyd-esque stylings but of Koji Kondo and his masterclass. There's the Ocarina of Time sound. I think it's Koji Kondo's best work. I think the Ocarina of Time soundtrack is probably Koji Kondo's best work. So I'm curious what a Pink Floydification could do to it. We're getting off track. God damn it, Sevy, you got me all distracted and shit, as you always do. Let's talk about the Chibi Review stuff. Someone is trying to assassinate me and police involved. Now, I saw someone earlier saying they wish that Chibi Reviews would stop his sympathy grift. The fuck? Okay. Whether you like or don't like Chibi is whatever. I've disagreed with him plenty of times. Yeah, he can be cringe, whatever. Chibi a good dude. He's a nice guy. I like Chibi. But when you gotta get cops involved, when people are threatening to dig up your dead fucking brother, when they're swatting your house, when they're sending you actual death threats in the mail, sorry, bitch. It's not a fucking sympathy grift, okay? I would not put it past these freaks to try and actually kill him. Obi-Wan Kenobi for a 5-banger says, speaking of flying, what kind of bagel can fly? A plain bagel. Do I have anything Jewish? No, so you'll have to settle for this.
You and I are enemies now.
Thank you, Obi-Wan. Appreciate you.
No, the video title is not a joke, everybody. There is actually threats against my life, and obviously I'm addressing this for a variety of reasons because it's quite a critical situation that does need to be talked about. First off, I'm fine. I'm not in danger at the moment, but obviously anything can happen.
You know, after him and his fiance split because she's a cheating fucking whore and women are awful, except for you, Sev. He said he was gonna be hitting the gym and stuff. I think he's still on. I think he's sticking to it. Is it just me, or is he looking a little thinner in the face? It's looking like Chibi's a little bit thinner in the face. I hope he's sticking with it.
And there is steps being taken to prevent that, which I will get into in just a moment. But first off, I want to address the actual threats. So, I received a threatening letter recently that came into my actual...
You fucked up bad. You fucked up aligning yourself with Von Dragon, Pedro Garcia, and Mr. Anime 343, all of which who were exposed for pedophilia. You fucked up having CSEM on DeviantArt, which wasn't real, by the way. Somebody hacked his account. You fucked up trying to take down my first video on you? Who is this? You fucked up playing a part in suspending my Zeno Konosuke account. I'll get it back. You fucked up scamming your fan base, and you fucked up making an enemy out of me. Now I'm going to make sure I strip everything away from you. I took down your Twitter once before, so doing it again isn't going to be hard. But since you want to try to Deptford people who expose you, that's supposed to be deplatform, I assume. I'm aiming for your YouTube as well. Did the quartering write this? You're a fucking pedophile. You deserve all this, Jacob. You shouldn't have made an enemy of me. I would take this threat pretty fucking serious if it were me.
Mailbox, and I will show a picture on the screen. You could see it for yourself. But there was a very deranged individual that just started going off, like mentally unstable, accusing me of stuff, being just so many buzzwords, and eventually just straight up said that they were going to take everything away from me. They were going to take my YouTube from me. They were going to take basically my Twitter from me. And then in between the lines, if you look at it, it's a very veiled threat that they also potentially want to take my life. Obviously, the police and the authorities and stuff are taking the situation very seriously, because sending a threatening letter like that through the mail, from what they're telling me, is a crime.
Also, it means they know your address. So yes, even if there wasn't a threat of death or whatnot, it means they have your address, and that was a very mentally unhinged. Well, if they have your address, then they know where you are. That means they can get to you.
Is 100% a crime, and they are investigating everything about the situation. So I'm leaving them to do that. That is completely out of my hands, and I'm allowing them to handle that situation. But what my options are now, they have told me that because of the immediate threats, death threats, and everything that's been happening as of late, that I now qualify, and my family qualifies, for basically scrubbing our private information offline. And what
That's pretty cool.
this basically means is to kind of give a brief rundown. I'm probably not even going to properly explain this, but I want to do my best, okay? So work with me here. Basically, if you're someone that owns, like, let's say a property, let's say you own a house, you own a vehicle, whatever, technically you can you can look up that information because it is public information. Should it be public? No, it shouldn't. But there is basically ways for that to happen. And if you're a homeowner or something, people can find your address. And that's one of the...
Yeah, we, us old heads will remember this. So we used to call it the phone book.
Big reasons how, like, people get doxxed is because people look into their address and all that and figure out where they are because they look up public records. And so because of the immediate threats to my life, basically what the police are telling me is that I qualify for the complete scrubbing of the data, and that my private information, technically, which is in the public because of, you know, it's on certain databases, will be scrubbed and not be allowed to be viewed by the public. It will be entirely private. On top of that as well, they basically said that I need to also move. And so now I'm taking steps to basically try to move and be in a safer position to where there isn't immediate threats, not just to my life, but like others around me as well. And so this gets into the next big thing that I want to talk about. First,
and I'm sure this is why people are calling it a sympathy grift. If I had to wager a guess, he's about to say, hey, I'd like some donations. Any little thing can help. Please send me. Guys, I'm gonna be real. If the fucking police are saying you need to move, it's not a grift to ask your audience for donations or whatnot. It's no fucking different than putting up a GoFundMe or something. Like, let's be real. I'm just guessing. I don't know what he's going to say. I haven't seen this yet, but I'm just guessing.
Off, I am very, very thankful for the overwhelming support that you guys have shown me since I made my video a few days ago titled I'm Done. I'm not going to lie. When I uploaded that video and I went to take a nap and I woke up and I saw the support from not just like the comment section, but people on Twitter and then content creators live reacting to it, I laid back. And I just started crying. Like, I wasn't just like, I wasn't crying tears of sadness. Okay, I wanna make sure I clarify that. I was crying tears of joy. To see just the amount of love. Like, anytime that I feel like I'm overwhelmed, like maybe I can't take another step.
War Wizard Dude Mango says, stop with the sympathy grip, Leon. I know you're trying to play me. I know you're trying to bait me. And I'll go for it. Bitch, when have you ever seen me ask for any sort of sympathy? Ever. I talk about my traumatic-ass childhood, prostitute-ass fucking mom, abandoned by my biological father, shit like that. Beaten by him later on in life. And I find that shit funny as fuck. Turned me into the champion of masculinity that I am today.
This is the end. These thoughts that bubble. I'm reminded of just how beautiful our community is. How beautiful you guys are.
Why, thank you. I shaved today.
I don't know what I deserved to get as much support and love as I do, but I know I am blessed and lucky for it. And I am very, 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 very thankful to all of you out there that has continuously shown support and love to me. As I said in my video that when I said I'm done, I made my channel to talk with you guys, to communicate with people, because I know in the content creation space, the proper procedure is to have a wall, a barrier between the community and yourself. I know that is the common thing, and most content creators will say to do that. That is probably the most common sense thing.
Yes. Rather than a wall, I like to think of it as like a, more like a chain link fence. At the end of the day, the vast majority of the viewers ain't friends with the fucking creators. Whether it be Chibi, whether it be me, whether it be Sev, whether it be Cult Classic Cage, whether it be Cinevere, we ain't fucking friends. We're entertainers, and we're doing our job to dance, monkey dance, and entertain you. No, that's not necessarily always the case and whatnot. We become friends with people that were initial viewers. I consider Eric Jenkins a friend. when he's not fucking spamming me with bananas and shit. But all in all, think of it like a chain link fence, because the authenticity is the currency of the digital age. And if there's a wall there, you can't always give that bit of authenticity. I just don't think Chibi very good at putting up a chain link fence.
But I'm someone that's probably autistic, and I've always just been very open about my emotions, how I feel, how I view things. I'm very blunt about it, which has obviously gotten me into a lot of trouble. A lot. And so, because of that, is why I think that I don't like to lie. Because one of the big things that even began this journey of why I'm here right now is because I wanted to talk about my true feelings, my thoughts and everything about anime, manga, and my different forms of passions that I want to talk about on a daily basis. So, not talking about that stuff and being open about it really, it makes me feel like I'm losing the point of why I began this journey to begin with. And so, I always try to just keep it 100% transparent, as best as I possibly
Hey! Transparent! I think David Cross would like this guy.
Can with all of you guys out there. So this next part, I'm just going to keep it completely transparent. I want to be completely blunt. I don't want to sugarcoat it, and I know it's going to this will probably get people to give me side eyes, and it will definitely fuel people that want to see me hurt. This will give them joy that I'm about to talk about the few things I want to talk about. But I'm just going to say it, because obviously I don't like to just lie about this type of stuff. So, I obviously need to move. I need to get off this property. I need to move to be able to be fully protected, and not just me, but my family as well, just to be able to distance from everything. And to be able to do that, obviously, it does require a lot of time and money. Now, I'm not asking you guys to donate. If you don't want to donate, you do not have to.
Well, technically, you are asking, but again, I don't see any issue with that. And he's right. People are gonna fucking side-eye him. Oh, you got X amount of hundreds of thousands of subs. Your videos do so well. Oh, you should be doing well for yourself. You should be able to afford it. Yeah. Moving be motherfucking expensive, alright? Moving can be expensive. Obviously, his family has to move with him. He's going to have to take time off of YouTube, which will severely harm his income. You don't want to fucking donate, then don't donate. But I don't think there's anything wrong with asking.
But I will have...
I also think people severely overestimate what YouTubers make and whatnot. Now, everybody a goddamn Asmongold. Like, yeah, I do this for a living. I still have just regular ass, normal, fucking lower middle class, living situation and whatnot. Like, in terms of funds, in terms of apartment, rent, all that. So, like, just because you do content creation for a living don't mean you're no fucking Asmongold that has to pay $4 million taxes.
A link in the description for a Give, Send, Go, where you could donate as much as you want. Now, you don't have to donate. Do not feel obligated. But what that donations will go to be completely blunt, it's basically to go to paying bills, to move, be able to basically pay movers, different stuff like that, just to be able to be in a safe spot. That's legitimately what it's about. And any form of donation does help with that. You don't have to feel obligated at all, but if you do, it would help out tremendously. And
this is how you know it ain't a grift. Like, I'm sorry, in my opinion, the authenticity in his voice here is very fucking obvious. Like, it's very apparent that there's a bit of guilt in asking about this, but he's doing it anyway. He keeps repeating, yeah, you don't feel obligated, the whole nine. Like, making a plea like this ain't easy to do. People really overuse the term grift, and to be fair, I'm guilty of it because I jokingly call myself a grifter. Atreus jokingly calls himself a grifter because it's that taking it back mentality. Oh, you're going to call us grifters anyway? Well, then we'll just fucking call ourselves grifters, and then what you going to do about it? We laugh at the term. But an actual grifter is a snake oil salesman, someone who fucking lies to get what they want, the lies for money, for clout, whatever it may be. They don't actually stand by what they believe. They're just saying it for the attention and or the money. There's literally zero reason to believe he doesn't mean this.
I'm going to be honest with you, because nowadays in this economy, truthfully, moving and how, like, all sorts of bills and stuff are, and gas and everything, it is so overpriced and expensive, and being able to basically get out of this type of situation, it's going to take a lot.
I think, well, let me go back to what Spitter2 said. I think he probably should have brought up the last GoFundMe because that's what people are most upset about. Because he said he never used it all, so people want to ask what he's doing with the GoFundMe. And to be fair, I'm not familiar enough with that situation to know one way or the other. But that being said, I know it was supposedly to fund a lawsuit. As somebody who has been part of lawsuits before and you know, gone through all the lawyer proceedings and whatnot, sometimes shit just never makes it to court. It's not worth it. You meet with attorneys, you pay these exorbitant fees, and shit does. I mean, there's a lot of stuff happens before anything goes public. You know, a lot of things happen even before discovery. Sev, I'm sure, can tell you all about it in the chat since she is a lawyer by trade. So, I'll be real. GoFundMes are donations. They're donos. People can throw bitch fits all they want. Anytime Christmas time comes around and you got the Santa Claus dudes waving the fucking bells for the Red Cross or whatever, yeah, like 97% of that doesn't actually go to helping people out, doesn't go to any charities. 97% of that shit is just like upkeep for the business operations and stuff. Whenever you throw money into a dono, a GoFundMe, or whatever, you're rolling that dice. You're rolling that dice. You can't really be upset spaghetti if it don't go your way. War Wizard for a 2-banger says, jokingly. I don't know what that's in regards to, but thank you for the 2-banger.
And it will take a lot longer if I'm doing it by myself, but if you guys do, it would help out. But, once again, don't feel obligated. I'm just going to say. So, once again, as a reiteration, it would be basically going to paying bills, movers, getting a new place. That's what it is. And the faster I can do that, the faster I can finally have a peace of mind and just feel safer in general. So, I will have a link to that in the description. Now, moving on past that. I never would have thought in my entire life
that talking about lollies would get you almost murdered. I never would have thought that either. But then again, I also never thought that we would live in a world where people think you can trans 3-year-olds. But David Cross thinks that, so it's a brave new world, folks.
That I would have a situation like I'm currently in. I didn't imagine, like, going back, like, if you were to tell me 3 to 4 years, I would be in a situation where I'm at right now, I wouldn't believe you. I would never believe that. I wouldn't. But here I am. I really do love you guys. And I'm going to continue uploading videos every single day as I always...
Damn it! I don't know why. But he's like, I really love you guys. And I thought it was going to be like, and I'm going to keep on loving you. Like, that's where I thought he was going. And he didn't do it. You failed me, Chibi. I'm not donating now. I was gonna. But you missed the obvious joke.
Always can. Until the day I die. And
if these freaks have it their way, it might be sooner rather than later. Not that I'm advocating for that. That'd be fucked up.
Hopefully I can get into a better place soon, and a safer place, to be able to not have, like, a worry of threats or anything like that. But I will leave it at that. Any bit helps, and I appreciate it. Anything. Thank you so much, everybody. And you have a very blessed day or night wherever you live. Chibi out.
Well done. Yeah, I don't think there was any problem with that video. I don't think there was any problem with it at all. Here's the link for you guys. And you know what? It seems like the vast majority of his audience hasn't either. Now, to be fair, this video is not doing particularly well for his standards. I mean, it's not even crap 40,000 views yet. But the reception's been good. It's got 5.6 thousand upvotes and only 80 downvotes. I wonder if the GoFundMe stuff is... Yeah, Give Send Go. Good, he uses Give Send Go. Shit. I mean, Homeboy's already raised 7,400 out of a 10,000 goal. Like, yeah. Seems to be doing fine. Radioactive Blueberry, Anonymous Giver. I mean, people seem to be responding well to this. And you'll love to see it. That is legitimately good to see. Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with ain't nothing wrong with that. I hope the best for Chibi. I haven't decided. Maybe I'll donate, maybe I won't. He really fucked up with not having that REO Speedwagon reference in there. He could have done it. I don't know. Astral Guardian for a 5-banger says, genuinely this is a terrifying thought, but there's a non-zero chance that some deranged lunatic decides to follow Chibi and the movers. Would be vile. There is. You're right, it's a non-zero chance, but I mean, at the end of the day, well, your whole life is based on chance, right? Your whole life's based on chance. The most dangerous thing that the average person does in a day is getting the fucking car. Like, on average, that's the most dangerous thing someone does in a day is getting the fucking car. You can't really live your life being afraid of what may happen, what might happen. So, you just gotta do risk analysis of everything like you would in your normal life and just move the fuck on. But I appreciate the 5-banger, homie. Thank you. Alrighty. Let's see. So we got at least one more video to go through.
Andrew.
And I cannot wait for this one. Men privilege is fake. Men privilege. I think she means male privilege. But yes, correct. You know what? It'd been a minute since we've done a Leaflit reaction. And by a minute, I mean we didn't do one yesterday. And I tried to do a Leaflit reaction as much as possible. Because I adore this bitch. Yes, male privilege is fake. And before we even get into it,
Andrew Wilson leaves trigonometry.
I will say, I think I know what her point's going to be. I think I know what Leaflit's point is going to be. That there's no such thing as male privilege because being male does not give you the privilege. It's, because men have privileges over other men, and it all comes down to force doctrine. If I had to wager a guess, that's going to be Leaflet's point at the end of this, is that since everything comes down to force doctrine, male privilege isn't applied equally, therefore it's not a male privilege, it is a force privilege. I'm guessing, though. Let's go.
Host speechless with single question.
Andrew Wilson appeared on trigonometry. This got very interesting because it goes exactly how we have seen this go before. They have not taken the time to think these things through in this way. So when Andrew just asked them very bluntly, it leaves them unable to respond.
Fucking.
And to be fair, I like the trigonometry guys. I do. But they're far too soft. They are far too fucking soft. I think that the trigonometry guys try their absolute best to ride that sort of middle ground line. That way they don't offend too many people. Maybe they've got the Charlie Kirk mentality of like, oh, we can, if we're calm and rational and reasonable, we can bring these people to our side. Yes, they are Brits. There's also that aspect to it. But they're kind of fucking pansies in comparison.
Let's start with this. Do you want women to be able to get drafted in the military?
No. Not at all. Do not want that in the slightest.
I personally don't, no.
Why not? Even if they're not in combat roles, they could be providing support. There are...
Nope. Couldn't care less. Couldn't care less. I don't want women in the military in any role. Support role, whether it be cooks, whether it be administrators, whatnot. Keep them out. The military as a whole should be specifically for men. And reason being, A, if we are in some sort of war situation, there need to be women back in home, keeping the situation fucking running. Rearing the children. You probably need people in production, like during World War II, making all the weapons and the automobiles and the stuff like that are being used in the day-to-day by the people who aren't fighting in wars. You don't need men and women fraternizing in, when there's a war going on, which there's a whole lot of in the military from what I hear. Nope, just keep them the fuck out.
Women in the military. So why don't you want them to be drafted?
Because I've never really thought about it, but it's just an instinctive reaction, actually.
Also, the idea of women being drafted, if you want to go with the we need to remove universal suffrage route, such as repealing the 19th, which I do think is the correct call. If you were allowed to, if women were allowed to be drafted, if women had to sign up for the service, then there'd be several women that would qualify, to vote, for example, and that would also be bad. So if you want to get rid of universal suffrage, you can't have women participate in mandated duties like that.
I like both these guys. I've spoken to them. You can see that they have not thought about these things in this way before.
Yeah.
I'd have to think about the exact reason, but
Eagle Lord, that's a retarded ass take. Yeah, I want women in the to be drafted because they preach they can do anything men can do. So your mentality is because women are dumb broads that say dumb shit, you want to put our nation at risk. That's fucking stupid.
I just don't think combat is what men do, I guess.
Who is this? Who is the... I don't know. These are the hosts of Trigonometry? Okay.
It's a very simplistic way of saying it. And
Sure.
there'll be women who I can kick your ass, and there are women like that. Right?
Agreed. But not generally.
What I am not against women serving in the military if that's what they choose to do.
Yeah, but what about the draft, though?
But I don't think they should be compelled to, no.
Why not? If you've admitted women can serve in the military, they can provide logistics, they can even...
Not just women's suffrage, Paul. Most people. I think, like, for example, I would be A-okay with only landowners can vote. That would disqualify me from voting. Totally fine. Totally fucking fine.
Do combat in some cases. Why should men be compelled, but women not?
I don't think they should be compelled to, no. I think in some circumstances, yes. Like when...
Do you want to know the real answer behind this? Do you want to know why? Do you want to know why people think this, like, instinctively? Because I think deep down inside, we know the math, but nobody wants to say it.
Did this woman, and I love you, Leaf, but this woman, who admittedly can't math, she's said it such many a time, just say we know the math? I don't think you did.
And the reason why is because biologically men are expendable compared to women. Because women, like, one woman can get impregnated by multiple men. That's why.
Okay, so maybe she does know the math. Maybe she does know the math. Oh, let women see what it's like to be men. Watch them change their minds instantly. That's still fucking stupid. It's fucking petty and illogical.
The survival of the country is at stake.
So women get a privilege men don't get.
Men get certain privileges too.
Notice what you said there. Men get certain privileges too. What is an example of male privilege? When you actually ask the question, no one can answer. You're going to see it play out right here.
No, what privileges? Name a single privilege men get that women...
Service guaranteed citizenship is also retarded. Service guaranteed citizenship is also retarded because just because you serve does not mean that you actually have American values. If you want to come in as some sort of foreigner and enlist in the service, do your time, then get out, but not adopt American values, no, you are still a fucking, you're still a degenerate that doesn't need to be here. No, service guaranteeing citizenship is retarded.
Don't have access to what?
You mean legislative?
Anything.
And he's opening up the table to absolutely anything.
Like literally anything.
In life?
Any aspect, whether it be governmental, social, women have all the privilege.
And this bothers people, but when you ask them...
So, Paul, I see what you're saying. I can see only U.S. citizens can vote. Well, first of all, that's the way it's supposed to be as is anyway. Only U.S. citizens can vote. Now, obviously, that's not how it's actually handled in places like California and whatnot. But on paper, only U.S. citizens can vote. That's the situation we have already, theoretically. Here's the dealio. If you are not contributing in any way, shape, or form, if you do not have American values, if you are not helping further the nation, if you are a dumb bimbo who makes money on OnlyFans and has no concept of how foreign or domestic politics work, why should your voice be equal to someone who is actually contributing? Let's say you're some dumb 18-year-old slut that sells pictures of her fucking asshole for $5 on OnlyFans. Why should her vote potentially send young 18-year-olds to die in a war that they had they're forced to go into because they're mandated to sign up for the selective service? So only people that have actual stake in the future of the country are the ones that should be able to vote. That, in theory. limiting it so dual citizenship can't vote. And that's not near enough of a limitation. Is my what I'm getting at. I get what you're saying, and fair enough. But no, it needs to be far more limited than that.
Okay, but why does this bother you? They can't really tell you.
See, that's the best thing.
Exactly. Some people only have rentals in these properties. They can't. I'm one of them. I live in an apartment. I rent an apartment. By my own suggestion of landowners only, I wouldn't be able to vote. I'm A-okay with that. I'm okay with rescinding my right to vote as somebody who is not generating... Now again, there's other avenues you can go as well. There's people that, if you do some sort of, public service, being a policeman, firefighter, things like that. I'm not saying only, that was an example, the only landowners thing. There would be other avenues, but by and large, point is the amount of people that are able to vote should be severely limited. Vagabond with a 5-banger says, example, how many service members say we shouldn't have guns or are leftist? Bingo, bango, bongo. Correct.
Though, to be honest, for me at least, the best thing is when something bothers you, when there is a thing that does bother you, I love to think about why. Why does that bother me? It's
my favorite quote from Mike Rowe. Leaflit's correct. I think, I could be wrong, but I think her and I actually talked about this when she was on the show a couple months ago. Mike Rowe said on Joe Rogan a while back, I said a while back, it's been years ago, I don't care how you care. I don't care how you feel, or I'm not interested in how you feel. I'm interested in why you feel that way. Brilliant quote. 100% correct.
Honestly a super healthy thought. When you have something that you think about and you're like, this really upsets me. It's really good to think, wait.
Oh, gotcha, Sebrew. My bad.
Wait, why though? Why do I allow myself to get upset by this? For what reason do I subject myself to feeling upset? It's a really good just thought process in general now.
It's just, it doesn't feel right.
All the privilege. Oh yeah. Hey, when the Titanic goes down, who gets on the lifeboat?
Yeah, but that's a very narrow context. Well, who dies in childbirth, right? Like, I mean, come on, we're different, and
almost no women die in childbirth anymore.
Well, some still do.
Sure, but I mean, some people die.
There's probably more women that die in childbirth in America than people who die on the Titanic in the modern.
Yeah, is childbirth avoidable? You just don't have sex, right?
So he's pointing out a logical difference.
Yes.
The government is not compelling women to have children. They are compelling men to enlist for the draft.
Yeah, so what you could say in that case, what would be logically consistent is to say that, well, just to take his point of view, if you wanted to go with a more logical angle, it would be that pregnant women, going by the pregnancy route, you would say that women who are pregnant or have kids are exempt from the draft. That would work, right? But then all other women are. So that would be a good one, yeah.
What are any...
And there's a pretty interesting idea there, too, because that would incentivize women to get knocked up right out of high school and start their fucking lives as mothers and homemakers early. That's a pretty fun incentive for women to not go into the military. Hey, you got two choices. Go to the military or get knocked up.
Can you give me any privilege at all that men have that women don't? Whereas I can give you tons of privileges that women have that men don't. That's what I'm asking.
Let's hear it.
Privilege. Well, I mean, the privilege concept outside the legislative framework is a difficult one.
Even inside of it. I'm asking for both, either.
Anything,
Any, in fact.
See, notice how difficult this is, yet people talk about male privilege as though it is so prevalent, yet no one can really point to anything.
I'm actually surprised that we are this far in 4 minutes and Leaflit hasn't brought up the fact that, like I said at the beginning, male privilege doesn't exist because it is not equal amongst all men. Like, for example, if you want to take what they're talking about, the selective service, the draft, all men have to sign up for that. All men have to. No women have to whatsoever. So it is equal amongst men and women. It's not equal. I mean, it's universal, is what I should say. Not equal. It's universal. But there are men that are going to have more privilege than other men, not because they're men, but because they are better, stronger, smarter, faster, whatever, taller. Like, tall men have more privilege than short men. Well, therefore, it's not a male privilege. It is a tall person privilege. I agree the suffrage should be limited to a degree. My worry is that humans' tendency to abuse systems. If only landowners vote, who would ever give up the land? Government takes away land from people, anti-government. So, well, I get what you're saying there. So let's break that down, because it's interesting. We already have a foundational area where we agree, which is that suffrage should be limited. So, now, yes, humans have... It's not, by the way, it's not a tendency to abuse systems. I disagree with that. It is an inevitability that humans will abuse systems. So, when you say, if only landowners vote, who would ever give up their land? Well, I don't understand what you mean there. Like, I'm not sure what that question is for. Regardless of the voting situation, who would want to give up their land? And if people want to sell their land, by all means, I'm a fucking capitalist. Why would anyone want to give up their land regardless of a voting aspect? Government takes land away from people all the time. And yeah, and I'm staunchly against that. I'm staunchly against the government's ability to forcibly remove land from you and claim, well, hey, we're paying you for it, so that makes it okay. I do not think that's a power the government should have. If I were God Emperor, I would get rid of that shit. Worrying about king's nobility becoming a generational nobility. Women still don't get a vote because they're dumb. There is also that, so honest. In the modern era, it is far more common for people to rent and still be able to contribute notably to society. We could easily have it be net taxpayer, correct? Yeah, that's another option, which is what that practically meant in the past. Yes, that is true as well. I think the only way OnlyFans creators should be allowed to vote is if they agree at 9% of income tax. No, because taxation is theft, so you're wrong. There should be zero tax. I'm not a fan of OnlyFans existing in general, but let's say we operate in a world where it's going to exist, because we do. Taxation is theft. I don't want some OnlyFans slut that's making millions of dollars selling pictures of her asshole on the internet to donate 90% in income tax, because taxation is theft. And it's not damn near prostitution. It is prostitution. It is 100% prostitution. Damn, Vagabond's a landowner? Please tell me you own the land that your ancestor got whipped on, because that would be a beautiful amount of irony. Landowners passing voting ability to their inheritance. Only 3 generations on, inbred Johnny gets to vote. Well, I don't know what inbred has to do with it. You can marry into land ownership. Like, that's a real big leap to go like, 3 generations later and then everybody's inbred.
I don't have the data on all this stuff, but I would assume there are contexts in which men are more likely to be employed for a certain thing because they're more likely to be perceived as authoritative, as leaders, things like that.
That's the best they can come up with. Well, I could imagine this thing happening. There's no way to measure that. And I like Konstantin. It's fascinating to me that once you're in this position, you begin to make a progressive leftist argument.
It's funny you bring that up. Sentinel? No, owning property and having to pay property tax. I said a minute ago that I rent. I still gotta pay property tax. In the dumbass state that I live in, supposedly a red state, you have to pay property tax on your fucking vehicle every single year. Now, I do own my vehicle. Bought it cash outright. But every single fucking year, I have to pay property taxes on that fucking car. And I love my car. But that shit gay as fuck, son. That shit gay as fuck. Spoiled. Sorry, poor choice of words. Let me go back and see what you said. Landowners passing voting ability to inheritance. Only 3 generations on. Inbred Johnny gets to vote. Oh, wait. So you're saying spoiled instead of inbred. Yeah, and I get what you're saying. That's going to come down to a values issue, though. It's going to come down to cultural values. I mean, at the end of the day, the idea in theory is to have these American values. So whether Johnny Boy is spoiled from a financial standpoint or whatnot should technically be irrelevant because he should still hold these nice, strong, patriotic American values. No, license plate has to be changed every 2. Well, the plate doesn't have to be changed, but you need to be inspections every 2 years, and you have to pay for the inspections and whatnot. They give you the new inspection sticker and things like that, and that's like you go get the inspection, which is like $12 or something, and then getting the updated inspection sticker is like fucking $44 or something. Yeah, it's a highway goddamn robbery. Highway cars. That was an accident, but that was good. I remember when I was stationed in North Carolina, they did that car property tax. Yeah, it is absolute bullshit. And I agree, property taxes in general need to go. Taxation is theft.
As a teacher, the vast majority of teachers were female. Is there a bias in hiring teachers?
Although that has changed with the kind of woke agenda of the last 10 years.
And it works both ways. Like, for instance, preschool teachers, I would assume that people would vastly prefer that their kid go to a woman, right?
Right.
So it seems like that privilege is striped across the board. So, like, what is the, why is it that women get all of the equality, but also get all the privilege?
I mean, it's difficult to argue with. If you see a flaw, let me know.
That doesn't seem right to me. That seems like it's backwards. So, like, I'm still waiting to hear from anybody ever. What are these?
I agree with Andrew on this one.
Privileges men have over women versus what women have over men.
You can offset this by claiming that there are certain duties that women should have. That women ought to have certain specific societal duties, but then, you know, they don't.
Now, that's the one thing I haven't really thought of. That is the one thing I haven't thought too much about. If there are certain societal duties that women should have. I haven't thought too much about that one because in my head it's like, women are beneath us. Men should be in charge of fucking everything. So that's interesting.
I want to make that argument.
There is a logical flaw at the very center of this issue. Regardless of where you land on it, we must acknowledge the flaw. And that's what Andrew is pointing out.
So if you can go and you can be drafted, you can be sent off to war, right? And women can't, but they can vote to send you off to war. How is that not something which fundamentally needs to be addressed immediately? That seems to me like it's completely lopsided, and it's giving one class of people a significant privilege over another.
So if we allowed women to be drafted, you'd be happy with them having the vote?
Well, see, now we come into pragmatic problems, though. The reason that you said earlier, I'm against women being drafted, is because they can't really serve in combat roles.
It's not even about, again, it's not even about the combat roles. It goes beyond that. Fraternization issues in the military, women not being here to do the duties that need to be done to keep the country successfully running when there is combat going on. Like, it's so much more than just a combat issue.
Only in support roles, which draftees of men would have to serve in combat roles. The reason women don't do well in combat roles is because, well, driving tanks is hard work. It takes muscles, and you gotta run the shells, and you have to carry hundreds of pounds of equipment with you, and you have to do all of this type of thing. And generally speaking, women aren't equipped for it.
I wonder how that would go in drone warfare, like a drone warfare scenario. Actually, I think men would still have an advantage. I think so.
Men would have an advantage in drone warfare. You want to know how we know? Men would absolutely have an advantage in drone warfare. Because we know that men are better drivers than women. If you got someone piloting a drone and they about to deliver the payload to the brown people, who do you trust to fly that drone more, a man or a woman? I'm trusting the man to fly the drone better.
I think men would still have an advantage in that.
That's why we've never had a female Navy SEAL to date, even though they've been trying for 25 years. We still haven't had a single one. They can't do the job.
Now Francis is going to take a stab at him. And I like both these guys. This is nothing personal. This is about being objective and calling balls and strikes.
Yep.
I guess, but when you vote for a government, you don't vote whether to go for war or not. It's the government that makes the decision. There's plenty of people who voted for Donald Trump and are absolutely disgusted that he's started a war.
No, but you're still voting for the representative that does it.
We're wrong.
I thought government was force. We all agreed on that, right? Government's force. Ultimately, that's what it reduces to. So when you say you're voting for force.
Okay, so now force doctrine comes up. And okay, come on, Leaf. I've never heard you not talk about force doctrine when this comes up. Don't fail me now, woman.
And you're voting for force use. Why does the United States have a massive military? Well, because we're going to use it. That's why we're going to use it. Why do we have a draft? Well, because we're going to use that too, and have used it. And we're going to institute a draft at some point again, likely.
Dude, Andrew Wilson with the casual 1v2, as usual.
It's more likely than not, at some point,
Fucking classic.
we're going to do it. So,
and by the way, I do think he is correct in that as well. I don't like that that's the case, and it could be very, very, very far down the line. I mean, at this point, the draft doesn't affect me. But yeah, while we haven't used it since, what, 67, I think? We haven't used it since now. I'm so like 67-ish, around that era. I definitely there will come a time when it will be used again. Now, whether it's a justifiable use or not, that's, I got no idea about that, but...
Thing is like, why do women get exempt from that? And if it's the case that you don't want them exempt from that, why is it that they don't go right to the front lines then and battle it out? Like draftees have at least the potential to. Well, that's a fundamental privilege that is not being addressed, right? And yet women have the vote. Doesn't seem like they care too much about men's rights, even though we're supposed to care about theirs. Seems like they have a lot of privilege in society.
Isn't that fair, Andrew? I think a lot of women care about men's rights, actually. Look, there's
And then the thing is, by the way, is like immediately when there's an imbalance with women, it's immediately like the biggest issue, right?
Well, he said something interesting there. I think a lot of women care about men's rights. And? I'm like, yeah, and? What does a woman caring about men's rights actually do for men, though? Besides just, like, an emotional affirmation. Taxes, I'm mostly for it, with the understanding that only happens when the government is honest. So, never. Well played. I was wondering where you were going to go when you're like, I'm mostly for it. Well played.
Like, there's clearly an imbalance here. Like, even if you were to draft women and not put them in combat roles, you would, like, that is still a privilege, right? That is still a privilege. And again, in all other cases where women have a disadvantage with men, like, for instance, like DEI. DEI is one of them. Another one is like, women get pregnant and, it puts them at disadvantage in like work, even like abortion. You could even like make an argument for that as well. You can make arguments for like
like she said it, the abortion thing, as if it was a question. It's not a question. Regardless whether you like or don't like abortion, right now, it's very simple. If you live in a state where you can get an abortion, dad don't get no fucking say. Woman can just go get that shit scraped out of her and move along with her fucking day. That's the argument.
The wage gaps, for instance, another thing, is like anytime there's an imbalance, even when the imbalance isn't even, like for instance, the wage gap isn't even an imbalance that is insurmountable. It's not something that, it's just all women and the preferences that they have. Any sort of these imbalances is always like front and center. It's like always constantly talked about. And yet when there are imbalances that involve men, nobody talks about it, nobody cares. So I guess the idea would be then that it just is imbalanced. There are biological differences and it is imbalanced. If we're going to send men to war, then there should be duties. There should be things that affect women as well. Then you could say it's asymmetric but balanced. But it's not. It's not asymmetric but balanced. It's just imbalanced because women are not expected to have any duties societally. I think Andrew's just right here.
Vocal minority, which say that they don't and they hate men. And look, we know those type of women.
It's not really a vocal minority, though. I mean, we watched that Asmongold video, I think it was last week, about the ratio of women that openly participate in that poll saying they hate men versus men saying they hate women, and it was not a vocal minority. If anything, it was pretty close to a three-way split between hate, neutral, and okay with once they were in like their 30s. When they did the girls right out of high school, overwhelmingly, it was hate men or at the very best neutral towards men, and only a small sliver had positive towards men. So, like, we actually have data on this that's been recently released, so it's not a vocal minority.
Be honest, a lot of women care about men's rights.
Let me get close. We got involved in 64 through 73, so at the time the draft was heavily implanted, at least 1972. Yeah, but I don't know if we were still drafting people by 72. I could be wrong. I thought we more, but yeah. I mean, yeah. I don't know when the last like when we actually officially stopped. You're probably right. It probably would be around 72 because I mean we didn't start using Maybe we started drafting people in 67. Maybe it was voluntary until then. The number 67 just keeps coming in my mind for some reason.
They do.
A lot of women care. I don't even know what it is. A lot of women care about men's rights, but I
don't know about that.
Give me like 3 of the most prominent ones you can think of.
Who care about men's rights? Well, I'm trying to think now, but
now suddenly it becomes very difficult to actually come up with a single name.
The burden of bearing the child is uniquely with women, in the same way that the burden of fighting in war is
But
unique.
it's not an expected duty though. It's not. So the thing with the pregnancy is kind of like what he's saying, is that it's not a societally expected burden. Now, if you want to say it is, then we can talk about that. Then that changes the calculation a bit. But
hi, I saw your stream mentioned in Chibi's thread. They are linking people here for some reason. What's up? Well, we covered the Chibi review stuff. About how long has this video been going on? It's been going on 10 minutes, and I'm reacting to it, so we've probably been doing this for 20 minutes. So, earlier in the stream, and I cover a lot of Chibi stuff. Chibi a good dude. I like Chibi. So, if Chibi sending people over here, man, shout out. Thank you. I appreciate you. Absolute legend. Yeah, Chibi a good dude. But yeah, earlier in the stream, we were covering the Chibi Reviews situation, and yeah, I hope everything works out. He's awesome. 30 minutes. Thank you, Serrano. So yeah, I'm slow. What do you mean I'm slow? Bitch, fuck you. Take a toaster bath. My abortion view is that if women can abort for rape, then men should be able to stop their women's rapists from aborting. Wait, what? Hold on. Let me. I'm not. My abortion view is that if women can abort for rape, then men should be able to stop their woman rapists from aborting. Maybe it's just the YouTube censorship stuff, but I'm not actually sure what you mean by that. Or maybe it's just that I'm retarded. It could also be that. I could just be fucking retarded. Men should be able to stop their woman rapists from aborting. Yeah, I get that. I know women can rape men. I just don't get what that has to do with the abortion aspect. Might be why I kept getting spikes on my stream when I talked about it. Oh, yeah, that's probably why as well. Yeah, Espiritu is a great dude as well. Yeah, they've been targeting and harassing people who called them out. It's bad. I don't think most women are capable of it unless they have a weapon or a man is unconscious. Well, that's the thing, Serranos, is, so, I actually, have an ex-roommate. I don't think I've ever told this story. I have an ex-roommate, and that's exactly how he was raped, was, he, went on a date with this gal. He was not feeling it, was not vibing with it. She came back to our apartment. They went to bed, not like slept together, not like sexually or whatnot. They went to bed, and dudes get morning wood. He woke up with her riding him, and he was not a fan. Again, didn't like this gal, the whole nine, and pretty fucked up. So, yeah, like, the whole... And also, you've got the idea that we have this epidemic of teachers that are, raping women. Or raping kids, raping, boys. Yeah, we talked about on stream yesterday. You have all these fucking teachers and substitute teachers and shit like that, they're sleeping with their 14, 15, 16-year-old students. Now, what even if that's, what's the term? Statutory, still rape. Then their attacker shouldn't get to say on aborting the child. The man, the victim, should have the say. Otherwise, it's not about rape. So basically what you're saying is that they're using rape as an excuse. Yes, more often than not, I agree. The amount of abortions that come from from rape is infinitesimally small. It's like less than 1%. Like the one thing that went viral today was a tiny 25-year-old teacher and a 17-year-old boy. Guarantee she couldn't have forced him to do it. That's why I said even if it's statutory, it's still rape. That's why we had the differentiation between statutory and not. If the roles reversed, he would have ended up in prison for decades on a registry for life, and while in prison, he would be targeted by the convicts. That is exactly correct, Shadow Sonata. Yes, 100%. But instead, he didn't tell anybody except for me as his roommate because he needed someone to talk to about it. I mean, and maybe he's told people since. I don't know. I haven't talked to the fucking guy in years. But let me tell you, he wasn't very happy about it. He was not happy to be woken up by this gal forcibly riding him because he had morning wood, which guys get uncontrollably. I do not want men and women to be treated equal because I don't think we are. We're not. Men and women are not equal. Men are, in nearly every way, superior to women, which is why it is our job to protect women. Oftentimes from themselves because they're fucking retarded, but that's neither here nor there. But yeah, I agree. Men and women are not equal. Men are, in almost every facet, better than women. Women are better at having kids on account of we can't have kids. It's about the only thing I can think of. I won't even commit to saying women are better at raising kids because I don't think that's necessarily true.
But it's not a societally expected, Vernon. Women are not expected to have that. In fact, if you said that, feminists would be upset and say that that was misogynistic. Everyone knows that.
With men.
But the very nature of those two things is different. One is not compelled by the government.
So it's an ontological argument. The nature of woman is...
Women are better at identifying colors. That is true. It's because women on average have something like 3,000 more of the receptors in their eyes that perceive color, which is why there's this urban legend that women can't be colorblind. That's not true. Women can be colorblind. It's just far more rare because they have something. I think the number's 3,000. I could be off. But the point is, yeah, women have far more of the receptors in their eyes that perceive color. On average, women can see more colors than men, which is why the whole idea of them perceiving color better, they literally do. That's a biological fact. And women are better at hearing high-pitched noises. Well, that's because bitches squawk like fucking birds, and they gotta get up in them fucking dog whistle octaves, and they can still hear each other. Men got real good at tuning them out.
To have children, nature of men is to go to war.
Right, and so...
Women are not better at twerking than men. You want to know how I know this? Because anecdotally, I beat a woman in a twerking contest at a Halloween party like a decade ago.
It's to be fulfilling her nature then, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I meant. Is that there has to be like a duty then involved with it societally. And that if women aren't...
I am not gay. My girlfriend is in the chat. What are you guys talking about? Women en masse embrace feminism and reject the role God created for them. No, I do not think women en masse do that. Women en masse do not reject feminism. The modern Western woman does, and I don't even know if it's en masse. I bet it's actually probably pretty 50-50. But women en masse, because you gotta remember, the Western world is not the whole world. The vast, vast majority of the world is places like fucking Africa and Asia and shit where women know their place or get put in their place.
If women are shirking their duty, it should be seen in the same way as a man dodging the draft, correct? That would be the logical conclusion of that ontological argument.
A woman is, and so is yours,
Yes,
right?
but most
So
women
I would
aren't.
insist for my woman to have the right to vote on that basis.
Want anecdotal evidence, but I ain't trying to look at a man's ass, Leon. All I'm saying is if your boy, who can't even dance, because, let me tell you, I am absolutely that average white dude who can't fucking dance, right? I can, do the Carlton or some shit. I don't even know if I can do the fucking Carlton. But by and large, yeah, no. If my white ass, with no sense of rhythm, can beat a girl at a fucking twerking contest, in a Deadpool outfit, by the way, because your boy got class, I can't even say that women are better at it than men.
That she's contributing, frankly, at this point, way more than I am.
Drafting's collective, right?
Yeah.
So then the duty's collective?
Yeah.
Then why isn't childbirth?
That's true.
And once again...
Well, you know what he should have countered with? He should have countered... Oh, wait, no. Okay, hold on. Okay, if I were to emulate this, if I were on the other side, I would counter, okay, well, what about men that are lame? Like men that they're disabled, they would not be good on the front lines or anything like that. Like we counter with that. Then Andrew counters with, that's not the case for all... That's not the case for women. It's elective. The women who do not do that, it is not elective to be lame and disabled, whereas it is elective to not have kids unless you are also lame and disabled. as a woman, as in you're incapable of doing it. That'd be the counter. So just throw it back into the other side, and the other side would say, yes, checkmate for that. Leaflit called me lame. Well, lame as in...
Men are even better at being women. That's why they're beating them in their sports. And honestly, the funny part is that I think that's true as well. Men are, and this is why the trans shit is so fucking disgusting. And trans shit needs to be abolished. Men are better at being women than even women are.
Like, sorry. Well, I didn't mean lame in the you suck way. I meant lame in the...
Well, thanks to Miltex.
Like, disabled. It's like the original meaning of lame.
And once again, they have no response, which indicates there is a glaring flaw at the center of this, regardless of how you feel about it or where you land on it.
Why do I have to fulfill my duty, but they don't have to fulfill theirs?
Well, I never said that. I thought it was a collective.
Does that mean I want to date a guy now? Sev? We are literally... I swear to Christ, I'm going to turn into the Boston Strangler.
Collective duty for women to have children.
But it's a collective duty for men to go...
Yeah.
Well, then, again, that sounds like privilege.
Yeah, in the same way that fire safety in your own house is a personal thing that you do, but if there's a fire in the neighborhood, it's the collective duty of the neighbors to get together and try and put it out, right?
No. No, it's not. It is not that. Now, you can make an argument to whether it should be or not, but it's not the collective duty of the neighborhood to try and put that fire out.
What?
There's a different... Something can be...
Do you go to jail if you don't do that?
Yeah. Look, I agree with you. The compulsion element is different.
Yeah.
But not everything is exactly the same.
I'm not even asking...
arguing that.
Like, I agree with you. Getting drafted and having babies is different. We can agree with that, right?
Both important.
Chat, do not listen to Sev. If she dies in Boston, it is not inherently my fault. Maybe she's like fell into the harbor or something. Maybe she is reenacting the Boston Tea Party because she loves America. And as a woman, she is clumsy and she falls in.
Right for
Both
society.
important. But the idea here that we are talking about, which should be equal, is the idea of duty.
It has nothing to do with how I feel
Yeah, it
about the
doesn't.
people involved. I made the mistake of calling Alex O'Connor a fool. I don't think he's a fool. I was contending with that argument he was making was foolish. Sometimes people explore arguments for the sake of exploring the logic.
Man, that was a good one. Yeah, that was a really, really good one by Andrew. It's a good point.
Excellent video. That bred a lot of good discussion. Definitely give our girl Leaf a follow. Leaf is awesome. There's the link. And if you guys are coming over here from the Chibi stuff, we covered the Chibi situation about 30, 40 minutes ago now. Seen have babies yet? Actually, not only have I seen it, there's a reaction to it on my channel. I reacted to it on Sunday, I believe. Posted the video of it on, I think, Monday, something like that. Either way, yeah, I've seen Have Babies. Check it out. And then this coming week, I will be reacting to her new video about, her new music video about tourism and anime. Someone needs to use AI and make Leon twerk to a Megan track. Thala, why the fuck you even here? Yo, someone ban this bitch. Someone ban this bitch. Can't believe Sevi jumped out that window. I can't believe Sevi jumped out that window a few days from now. My condolences. Bro, you know what's gonna be real fucked up? You know what's gonna be real fucked up? If, like, we get into some sort of accident while we're in Boston and actually do die in this chat, or I survive and this chat's, like, used against me as evidence or something. Holy fuck. If, of all the things that could bring me down, it ends up me fucking making jokes about killing Sevi. Yeah, don't jinx it. I don't believe in that. I don't believe in that jinx shit. Jinx is gay. I'm more of a Mr. Mime guy. Leon does not know it's Shut the Fuck Up Thursday. Actually, it is Shut the Fuck Up Thursday because it's about time for me to shut the fuck up and end the stream. I know we didn't go as long as we normally do, but since I have to travel today, I have to get on a leave for the airport in about an hour and a half to 2 hours, I need to clip some of these segments into videos since I won't be making videos while I'm gone. So we are outie like 4 circles Let me see who's live and we'll get a raid going. Let me see who's live so we can get a raid going. We will raid Irwin. We very rarely ever raid Irwin because we're not usually streaming at the same time. Alrighty, crew. I want you to get all in Nerd Wars 22222. How many fucking twos he's got in his goddamn name? I want you all to say Vital Idol Raid. And until next time, it is all here in the Nerdosphere, and this has been Words of Paradise. See y'all next week, because I ain't doing no more fucking streams. Your boy gonna be on vacation.